Start of the year, you set a goal, you're super motivated to get somewhere, you're super motivated to change your life. This year's gonna be different, you're gonna smash it. First few weeks goes well, you're working towards your goal, things are going really, really good. And then within a few months, you start to dwindle, or maybe even a few weeks, you drop off. The year goes by, and now it's the next year, and you've got nowhere. And this happened to me. In 2019, I failed every single one of my goals. And I sat down and I had a look and I was like, right, if you don't sort your shit out now, it is not gonna get any better. It is only gonna get worse. And that is why I sat down, I was like, okay, I'm gonna have to formulate a proper structure and way to set goals. Before we can solve the problem, we need to realize why people fail, like why you fail. I break it down to 3 reasons. Number 1 is out of sight. How many times you set a goal in your head and then you just forget about it? And then the end of the year comes and you remember it. Out of sight, out of mind. We push it down, we repress it because we don't want to feel the pain of failure. Number 2 is no necessity. When we don't have a reason why, when we don't know why we want to do this goal, why we want to do this thing, it's going to be challenging, it's going to change our behavior, it's going to be very difficult. We're not motivated to do it. We have no purpose. When the going gets tough, we're just going to quit because it's not like you have to do this. It's like, maybe I'll do this, maybe I won't. Number 3, non-specific. So you don't set a specific goal, and as it's not specific, you don't have a direction to go in. You're not like, I've got to do this to get here. It's like, do I have to do this? And because your attention isn't focused in one direction, you're gonna get overwhelmed and you're more likely to fail. A well-known way to set goals is by setting SMART goals, which is an acronym for specific, measurable, actionable, relevant, and time. Well, we're gonna take this one step further, and we wanna set goals in accordance to the SMARTER goal system with an ER. And I basically just completely stole this from another YouTube video, but it's good and it works. Be specific in exactly what do you want to do, what do you want to achieve. Don't say, I want to make loads of money. Say, I want to make 1,000 million trillion quadzillion and $86.19. Like, be specific in what you want to do. Measurable. Measure progression. Make sure that you can measure progression as you are progressing, because that is the most important thing. You're going to get demotivated if you don't see progression. A good way to do that is by creating a habit tracker. Get a notepad, write down the key steps that you need to take, and then every time you make one of those steps, it's basically a checklist. Just cross it off, cross it off, cross it off. 3 is actionable. What can you do to get somewhere? What actionable steps do you need to take? Relevant. Is the goal relevant to your life? You can't just have some completely unrelevant goal, or it's gonna have no necessity. You're gonna have no need to do it. T for time. Every goal needs a deadline. You need to be specific about when you're gonna complete it. Even if you don't know when you're gonna complete it, set a deadline, get it down. Like, diamonds are made under pressure. How many times you had schoolwork, university work, dissertation work, a deadline at work, and you do all the work at the very end and it actually turns out to be okay? It's because we like to space things out as much as possible. So set specific, tight deadlines for your goals. E for ER is evaluate. How often do you evaluate your goals? This is a massive one, and it is one of the huge reasons that I failed a couple of years ago, was that I did not have any systems to evaluate my goals. If you don't have a system for evaluating your goals, aka a notebook, you're not gonna complete them. And finally, in the SMARTER goal system is R, reward. You wanna reward yourself when you do get somewhere, when you do take a step, when you do achieve something. Reward yourself, whether it's a 10-minute break from work, whether it's a day out, whether it's a night out with your friends. Okay, so coffee. Let's say I want to set a goal and I want to drink a lot of coffee. In the next 7 days, I will drink 28 coffees. I will do this by making 2 coffees every morning at 7 a.m. I will create a habit tracker to measure the steps and ensure that I'm on track. And I'll create another 2 coffees at 3 p.m. So the goal is measurable. I'm tracking the coffees. It's specific, it's actionable. And then I'm gonna do this every single day. And I'll basically write this down. I will do this and I will do this. And by the end of a week, I'm gonna have a caffeine addiction and be drinking 28 coffees a week. Putting this all together then, using the SMARTER goal system. So you know kind of the framework that you should be using to set your goals, how you should set them. What do you do next? Get a diary, and in the front of a diary, it doesn't matter if it's the start of the year, it doesn't matter if you're halfway through the year, it doesn't matter if it's a Tuesday night at 1 a.m. Get a diary, go to the front of a diary, and write down your goals. And when you're writing down your goals, leave a bit of a gap in between your goals, because the next 2 steps are absolutely essential. For each goal, sit down and think of a why. Why do you want to achieve it? Why do you want to do this thing? Like I said at the start, one of the main reasons that people fail is they don't have a necessity. They don't have a reason to work fucking hard at the goal. They don't have a reason to complete it. But if you can sit down, you can think of a why, like why you want to achieve this goal. It creates purpose behind the goal. It creates necessity, and it motivates you from like this primal level to get it done. And when thinking about your whys, try and think about people you care about. Try and think about people that you love. Think about how you could give back to them. Think about things like bigger than you. And it might sound cheesy and like cliche. Okay, let's say I want to make a goal of making $1 million. And I'm gonna write down a why for that. On the one hand, I could write down, I wanna make $1 million because I wanna be rich. Or I wanna go to loads of parties, which is, okay, fair enough. Like that's a valid reason. But an even better reason is gonna be, I wanna make $1 million so I can buy my dad that car that he's always dreamed of having but could never afford because he is paying for my education and my birthdays and supporting me as a child. Like that is gonna be a much stronger reason to complete a goal because there's other people relying on you. It's for things bigger than yourself. So think of your family members, your friends, your siblings, a group of people that you can help. You have the power to completely change people's lives. So sit down, for each goal, write a why. Why do you want to achieve it? And what this is going to do is going to create necessity, it's going to create purpose, it's going to give you a direction to work towards, it's going to give you motivation, which is the main thing. Next thing I want to do is underneath every single why, you're going to want to write down a how. And this is just as important as the why. How are you going to achieve your goal? Write down the key moves that you're going to make, the key steps that you need to make. Write down what you need to do over the next year, over the next month, over the next week, over the next 10 years, however long the time frame is to get towards your goal. And it'll be so easy to write this down and just leave it in your notes and never write it in a diary, or maybe you just throw it into a cupboard or throw it under your bed. If you do that, the same thing that has happened every single year to every single other goal pretty much is gonna happen to this one. So, most importantly is make sure you read it, man. Set a religious schedule. So I do it Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday. Every morning, first thing I do is I'll sit down and I won't skim through my goals. I will read carefully through my goals. And then what I do as well is at the start of every week and the start of every month, I will use the goals that I've set to kind of plan my week and plan my month and be like, okay, I need to do this to stay on track. I need to do this thing. These are the key moves that I need to make this week, this month. And then you can actually use your goal setting system to get somewhere. That is my 2 cents of setting goals. A different video from me, actually made me feel quite uncomfortable, pushed me outside my comfort zone to do, because I'm not used to doing videos like this. But I think the more I do it, the better I will get at it. So let me know if you liked it, if you enjoyed it, comment, like, subscribe for the algorithm, because YouTube have absolutely done me dirty and not been showing notifications to people, not pushing my videos, and I probably need to fix that. So yeah. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that one. Smash your goals. Peace out. I love you to bits. Check out the free goal setting course. No card details or anything required below. Thank you. Goodbye.